With ACA open enrollment on the horizon, you're probably interested in maximizing your sales as high and as much as possible. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is giving you the blueprint to writing 50 ACA plans predictably during open enrollment and really throughout the year. So we're going to talk about things like leads, the sales system, and just the overall process to give you the best results, not only to sell the most, but keep the most of your plans. My name is David Duford. I own Duford Insurance Group. We typically recruit agents to sell final expense in person over the phone. We're very focused on mentorship, and we actually sell ACA, but teach our agents to sell it long term after they master the life insurance portion of the business, or if they want to work with us, as long as they'll bring over their life insurance business. Check out davidduford.com/FAQ for more details. So I got a very brief and to the point video here because this is not as complicated as it sounds. You just need a simple system to follow, and you need to make sure that you're hitting the fundamentals and maxing out what really matters in each of these three core components. So number one, to writing 50 ACA plans a week, you need leads. So drop the idea that you're going to do this all organically or that you're going to have some sort of desk or booth at a grocery store. Not to throw shade at any of that stuff. That stuff works to various extents. But if we're talking about writing 10 to 15 policies a week to have an average of 50 a month, you're going to have a scalable system that's going to get you in front of more people than just waiting around or depending on referral networks to get it to you. And really the best strategy to do it is just to utilize any major social media platform. Personally, I think the best way to go is to use Facebook. It's to generate your own paid lead ads and to scale it up and get in front of those people that you want to work with. I recommend Shauna Thorenson's course, Social Waves Media Group. There should be a link in the chat below. It's a great course, affordably priced. Will teach you how to set up your own ACA ads to see success. Now, my advice is to use the reverse lookup function on Facebook. You should be able to do that. I think it's on the Business Manager. It might be publicly available. To look at ACA ads, just put those in a search box and you'll get to see which ones have been performing and for how long. It'll give you ideas of copy you can use, visual ideas on images that you can use, and just give you some advice on which direction to go to create your ad. And then when you use the course, or even go on YouTube and just put up how to put up a Facebook ad, you'll see how to do it, and it's not that complicated to accomplish. The key thing, though, to write a lot of volume of any kind of business is you need to also have a lot of volume of leads. And in any kind of Facebook, and I'm assuming telesales format is how you're going to be selling ACA, you're going to need to have a lot of volume. I wouldn't have anything less than 150 to 200 leads a week. It sounds like a lot of leads, and it is, but the conversion ratios are just lower for telesales. And so you need to have volume to support your endeavors. And I would say on a good ACA lead system, you're probably looking at $5 to $7 a lead, probably going to convert 1 out of 20. And if you do the math, you're going to need about 150 to 200 a week. Can you do it for less? Maybe, but you better be a savant at sales. And I'd rather you have too many leads to see than too few. It's easier to make money when there's so much people to talk to than too few. Number two thing you need is a sales system, okay? So how are you going to sell ACA? It's not a complicated sale. Most of these prospects out there have zero premiums. They're very low premiums. They're not going to pay a lot of money. There's a lot of subsidies set up for a lot of the prospects that we're dealing with. So you're not going to be transacting a lot of money. You just need to figure out who they are, what they're looking for, what's most important to them, and then showing them how the quote you're giving them is the best solution. It's really that simple. It's not that complicated. The key thing to remember is to keep it simple. You want to dial 50 to 60 hours a week. Now, we can complicate this, and there's nothing wrong with this, with some sort of chat bot or some sort of automation feature. But what you're going to find is that the best way to learn this business and get good at selling it is by picking up the phone and talking to people and putting the time on task to do so. So I would caution you getting involved in this business to too quickly involve yourself in a more complicated, systematic approach to closing, following up, and then following up with closed business. Get good first at actually picking the phone up and selling, because that is the core fundamental of being successful in any insurance sales as well as ACA. And last thing I would suggest to you to do is get good at creating a really good, strong opening. Something that sounds positive, that sounds convicted, that you're there to help them. Ask questions about what do they like about their current policy, what would they like to see different, what's most important for you, getting the best plan, paying premium, or paying nothing at all and just getting the best that you can for nothing. These are going to help you then make a good recommendation as to which option to go with and then assume the sale to then end up closing the deal. And the last thing on this list here to write 50 policies a month is you need a great follow-up system. So one of the biggest issues with ACA in general is it's a bit of the Wild West still. Talk to anybody who's been doing it. One of the biggest frustration points right now is that agent of record changes are a big problem. It used to be like this in the Medicare space. You could walk into somebody's house, sit down, change the old agent out for you being the agent, and then assume the residual income. There's been some obstacles put in place for that on Medicare, so it happens way less than it used to, but on the ACA side, it's wide open. I mean, there are literal call centers that call up and do AOR changes, agent of record changes, to make the call center the agent of record in like 7 minutes or less. I've heard about these. It's crazy. It's not a good way to do business or really deliver ultimate satisfaction to the client to help them out. But the thing is that you have to understand whether you're doing this outbound strategy on telesales or you're using some sort of automated sales solution like what we do with Agent Autopilot, you have to have a system in place to follow up with these people to make sure they're still your clients and they haven't had an AOR change. For example, I had an agent he's doing about 100 ACA plans a month, which is just incredible, using this automated sales system. Guy I've worked with for years, does very good. He called his clients to see, and he had like, out of the 100 he wrote, had like 30 or 40 of them had an AOR change. And so he sat down a couple of days before the end of the month and called all these clients to make sure and to be assured that they're still his agent, his clients, and had to go back and change some of this. So it's frustrating. It's one of the more annoying points of the ACA system. Hopefully years later, if you're seeing this has been resolved, and I think it will eventually. This stuff tends to permeate to the top, and it takes a while because it is the government after all. But you need to do it yourself, or better yet, hire somebody to do that. Especially if you're writing large volume, you need to be focused on sales. So finding somebody who can do some initial or some calls at the end of the month to check on this and arrange for these changes to be made really is the best use of your time, in my opinion. So again, hope this helped you kind of, again, get to the point of exactly what it takes to be successful. 150 to 200 Facebook leads a week, a great sales pitch with a good opening, really good pre-qualifying questions, and a confident close. And then I believe some kind of follow-up system to your client to make sure they are still your client and haven't had an AOR, agent of record change, done to them. And I think with this combination, the sky's the limit in this business. ACA is an exciting product. It's really new in its formation. I think it's still going to go through a lot of regulatory changes to tighten things up where it's loose. But I think getting some knowledge in it now, there's a lot of money to be made in this. There's ample opportunity for dental, vision, and health cross-sells, life insurance cross-sells, and more. And I think becoming really good at this is a great play. I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, if you like ACA and you're interested in doing that same combination with life insurance sales, check out daviddufour.com/FAQ about how we can help you. Thank you.